Hello, everybody, and welcome to the NFfL fantasy football season. I am fucking fired up, boys. I don't know about you. And I've heard a lot of talk about everybody being excited about our week one Pickems. So without further ado, here we go. To kick things off, I'm just going to go right into it. We got the McCorkles versus fucking hate you, Louie, but it's a great fucking team name. I can't argue it. And this week, looking at the matchup here, we got Gino versus Lamar. I personally think Gino's going to come out on top with a little bit extra points there, but Lamar is the one good player you have on your team, so I think he'll turn out all right. The running back situation, David Montgomery put up a solid week, got a lot of volume, but I think I'm going to pull it out there as well because Jerome Ford isn't really going to do it. Looking at the wide receivers, you got some great prospects, Louie. I'm not going to deny it. I'm a big Drake London guy. I'm not big on Zay or Treylon Burks, but I can see the appeal. I just don't think they're going to beat the experience and stardom that is in my wide receiver core. Tight ends, I think it's pretty much a toss-up there. I do like Jordan Addison, though. I think he's going to be fantastic, but probably outproduce Gibson this week, but who knows? I think ultimately that little advantage that you have isn't going to be enough to overtake me, and I think I am going to be taking out Louis and what you say this week. Next, we have what I believe is the matchup of the week. We got Shutterbutter, the Shotman, versus the Bazmax. And I'm very fired up about this matchup. I think it is a very even contest. We got Herbert versus Hurts, two top 5 QBs. I think it's going to be fantastic. We got Barkley and Pollard versus Chubb and Bijan. And it is just two sets of juggernaut players going after it. And then we got Waddle versus Devontae, DJ versus St. Brown. It's just nonstop there. It's friggin' awesome. But here's where I think the little edge goes. There's a little edge there. Everything's matched up pretty well. Actually, two, now that I look at it, is unfortunately for you, Baz, for the first couple weeks of the season, you're going to be dealing with an injury to Cup. And I think that takes you from an elite team to a good team. And on paper, I think Shutt's team is elite as of right now. And I believe Eckler more than edges out McKinnon. That's not even a question. And then Brown is he's just a different animal versus Keenan Allen. And I think those two advantages is going to take Shutty to a victory. And he's going to do well. Next, we have Millette versus Jordberg. I mean, I don't even know what the fuck to say about this. I mean, Deshaun, who the fuck knows what you're going to get out of week one from him? He could be the vet, the guy from the past that absolutely lights it up, top 8 quarterback in the league. I don't think he's going to get there right off the bat, so I think Jordberg has the edge with Burrow. Breece Hall coming off a torn ACL versus McCaffrey. I mean, that's not even a question. I do think, though, they're giving way too much credit to Madison, and I think Swift will come out will come out on top over Madison. And then looking at the rest of it, I mean, Millette's starting to come around, but I think Jordberg is just going to have that veteran floor that's going to carry him to the end. I think he's going to do it, and I think Jordberg's going to come out on top. But I do like where Millette's team is going. I think he's going to be a lot better going through the year, and he'll be one to watch out for shortly. just hasn't gotten there right as it yet. The next matchup we have is my boy Harry versus Hoy. This is a very tight matchup. It's shown an only 3-point differential between the two going into the week. And looking at this matchup, I mean, there's a lot of big names here. We got Gibbs, who looks pretty decent. Didn't put up the points, though, this week, but not too bad. Versus Jacobs, we got ETN versus Dobbins. Prescott versus Allen. Just matchup after matchup here. And, I mean, these are two pretty underrated teams looking at them. I mean, we got Diggs versus Metcalf, Garrett Wilson versus Ridley, Debo versus Lamb. And, I mean, just pretty solid across the board. The weakness I see here, though, and I think it is the key to victory in this matchup, is whether Pitts can get a fucking touchdown. Now, you know my opinion on Pitts. I think he is overrated as fuck, but the guy is an athlete, and he does get open. So this matchup that is between these two teams will come down to if Pitts can actually fucking do something in the red zone. If he can be successful in the red zone, I think Hoy will edge out a victory in this matchup, but we'll see what happens. Now, we have just another amazing matchup here. We got James versus Greg. Now, looking at this right here, I mean, Greg, you just got, I'm happy you're a champ. It's well-deserved, but you just got a team of fucking octogenarians here, man. Derrick Henry, Tyreek Hill, Scary Terry, like Mike Evans, just all, like, just, I mean, it's a good team, but, man, the shelf life is pretty much close to the end on that one, man. But looking at this matchup, though, I mean, James is in a similar spot, too. With Aaron Jones, Michael Thomas, Hopkins. But, I mean, if we're being honest here, the farther you get down the list, I think Greg's got a solid edge here. He's got Ingram versus Likely, who is okay, but I don't think he's going to do it. And bold move by James starting Isaiah Hodgins. I mean, man, that is a shot in the dark there. And I think ultimately, those two matchups, the edge is going to be to Greg. And now, we have the final match. Mikey B versus DVD. And I mean, Mikey B, you know I love you, but looking at this, I don't even think it's going to be close. Lawrence versus Jones. Jones is a good fantasy quarterback, but Lawrence is elite. Walker's coming off the torn ACL, but Samaje Perine, I like Perine as a flex, but going up against Walker, I just don't know. I don't think they're going to be splitting that backfield enough. Same with Ramondre. He's still going to get the yards. He's still going to get the bulk of the carries. Williams, I love my boy Jamal Williams. You know I love me some Jamal Williams, but in New Orleans, that's a three-headed horse. You don't know what's going to come of it. And then the wide receivers. I mean, DVD got my boy Chris Olave, Chase. Amari Cooper is a solid 3, and I think he's going to be, and despite the fact Smith and Jigba is going to be a great player, I don't think Zay Jones and Gabriel Davis is going to cut it. Finally, Mark Andrews, just always a stud. The only thing I can see here that could possibly make Mike win is Raheem just popping off in his first week over Javonte Williams. But overall, I just believe like DVD is pretty well on his way to victory in week 1. But we've seen bigger surprises. Well, that is the first video of the year. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I had this much fun making it. I am so excited for this season to start. Listen to all the bitching and complaining from you fucking degens that I love so much. This is your boy Shane House reporting live for week 1 of the fantasy football season. See ya!